what would the world look like if every image that had been captured in human history was captured as if the person taking the photo was taking a photo of their brother, their sister, or their mother. My name is Jomo Fray, and I'm the cinematographer on the movie Nickel Boys. I've always been interested in movies, and almost at age 7. I kind of remember at that time, like, it was a period of life where I was almost saying totally different things. Like every week I was like, oh, I want to be an astronaut. Now I want to be a scientist. Now I want to be a fireman. I remember the moment when I was like, oh, I'll be a filmmaker, because that way I could just tell the story of an astronaut for 3 months, tell the story of a fireman for 3 months, tell the story. And you know, at some very real level, I remember it feeling almost like a hack that I had figured something out that no one else had figured out, to live a million lives in one life. I shot a lot of documentaries when I was in college at Brown University, and I remember watching an interview with Ellen Kuras, and she had said in the interview that photography for her, cinematography, was really just kind of combining her philosophy into putting it into an image as a way that people could actually grapple with it in their real life. And I think that that was a real kind of a moment where it clicked for me, where it wasn't just filmmaking, but it was cinematography. From that moment on, I just became very obsessive about images and image making and theory and the technology. I think oftentimes for people of color, there's this moment of recognizing not just what Black means to them, but what does being Black mean to how other people read them. And for Ramel, he was like, you know, I was just always wondering, at what point did these 2 young men recognize that they were Black? I wonder how we can make seeing their story particularly immersive and try to get the audience either uncomfortable or invite them into an experience of kind of switching up some of the perspectives. So like, it was a very fascinating process where it was the 2 of us sitting down and quite literally spending upwards of 70 hours in prep, just the 2 of us, and almost trying to break down traditional film to its almost subatomic kind of quantum particles, and then reworking it, remodulating and rebuilding it into the point of view language. It wasn't remaking the wheel anew, but was taking all of these aspects of traditional cinema that are so immersive and just seeing, okay, is there a way that we can tweak this to create an image that we haven't seen before? I like to think that ideally when I build an image with the director, I want to build it completely bespoke. We use the Sony Venice either in Rialto mode or kind of as a full build, and we use the Panavision VA lenses. He would always pontificate on this idea of what would the world look like if every image that had been captured in human history was captured as if the person taking the photo was taking a photo of their brother, their sister, or their mother. In a lot of these sequences in Nickel Boys, if there's a moment where, you know, Anjanou Ellis, who's playing Hattie, hugs Turner, the character's perspective, it's me she's physically hugging. So it kind of was a shared thing where it's like the camera would be a scene partner, and I think that that was exciting for a lot of the actors. It was exciting for a lot of the people involved. Intimacy was cultivated on set because of that approach. We knew there was so much high artifice in the camera language. We were always trying in every other aspect of the filmmaking process to have some of that art, as much of that artifice disappear as we possibly could. It was kind of like jazz in the sense that there is a set melody, there's a song, and we would be connected to the song, and then maybe if the actor did something unusual or if they kind of went off book, then, you know, maybe we jump off track and there's room for a solo, there's room for reverie, and then we would click back onto the track that we knew we had established through the piece. Most times there wouldn't be any stands or any lights on set, so the actors could truly kind of live in the space. We would build the light into the sets with our production designer, Nora Mendes. We would never do marks. We would never give focus marks. So when the actors started the scene, they could just flow into the end of the scene as one singular gesture. So it could be this living, breathing process. It was exciting and fun because it truly was, in its purest form, kind of an experiment with all aspects of cinema. Every day that goes by, I feel more and more grateful for just being invited onto this journey with Ramel and kind of seeing the effect people. We had to either build or invent so many of these systems on nickel boards that I think it really pushed me to think in a broader, more inventive way on almost any image that I would be making. That, yeah, it's kind of going back to reading scripts and getting excited about what the next set of projects will be.